Howdy, y'all. Jackson here with Ictric Studios, and welcome back to another episode of Outside the Hash. Sorry for the slight delay, but things come up. Quick episode because we only have NIL Week One, some exhibition games that happened over the weekend, uh, the fun leagues, and then Australian football is starting its long grind of the season. Truly the most brutal sport.
Come on, man. Let's go.
But we will start things off in the NAL. We'll do a quick recap of everything that's gone on in the off season. Obviously, there were some big team changes. The Beaumont Renegades left for the AF1. The Carolina Cobras officially folded, though they stopped playing halfway through last year. Rip to Kyle.
They truly had to dust out their trophy case.
Yep.
Real shame.
Yep. The Columbus Lions and the Wheeling Miners both left for the AAL, the return of the AAL. The Idaho Horsemen went on hiatus, and they are looking to move. The rumor is that they're going to move to Arizona, but I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen, or if they're just going to fold or whatnot. The Shreveport Rougarou rebranded as the Louisiana Rougarou. The Amarillo Warbirds were founded. They're sort of a continuation of the West Texas Desert Hawks / Warbirds that played a couple years ago. And they moved to Amarillo. The Dallas Bulls were founded, but they're also kind of a continuation of a team that's been hiatus for the last couple of years. They were also in the NIL like a couple years ago, but then folded like right before the season started. So we will see if they I need them to make it through this weekend because they have the best game coming up, and I can't wait for you to see it.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Then the Pueblo Punishers were founded, and then the Salina Liberty and Southwest Kansas Storm both joined from the AF1. Yes. Coaching changes. Louisiana, their head coach left. He, I believe, became the Salina defensive coordinator. Amarillo hired Jermaine Blakely as their head coach, who was last year in Corpus Christi as the offensive coordinator in the AF1. The Dallas Bulls hired Robert Kent Jr. as their head coach. He has no head coaching experience, at least professionally, I could see, but he's a former quarterback. He did play for them previously and also for a whole bunch of other indoor. So he's got a lot of experience in indoor football, just not coaching it.
Mm.
Louisiana promoted Michael Blair to their head coach, who was their quarterback's coach last year, and then Pueblo hired Tay Brooks and Clinton Solomon as co-head coaches. So we'll see how that works out. Brooks was the Eau Claire X-Men's head coach in the TAL, and then Clinton Solomon was the 2024 Arena Football League Wichita Regulators head coach. So at least to have experience. Some players of note. This is not every team. It's not necessarily every important player. It's just who I saw and recognized names of, and every player that was a returning All-Pro. So Colorado Spartans had a lot because they were one of my teams, so I'm a lot more familiar with the roster, which would be fun. Yes. They have quarterback, former first-round NFL pick, Paxton Lynch, who I think is actually a downgrade from the quarterback from last year. But
100%.
But he's a big name. He's got a lot of good targets to throw to because Stephen Newbold is a former All-League player, former Rookie of the Year. Alexis Rosario, who was a former IFL All-League player. Bizet Woodley, wide receiver, who was a All-League this last season. Then they have a offensive lineman that was an honorable mention. Sam Hammond, defensive lineman, who was the reigning defensive player of the year. Corey Henry, the defensive lineman, who is an honorable mention, and then Luis Ferreira, who was the special all-league kicker. Dallas Bulls have former Virginia Tech quarterback Gerard Evans, who also spent some time in the X League. I believe he was the Tokyo Gas Creators quarterback the last couple seasons. So, there. Omaha Beef quarterback Demery Croft, who's probably going to be their starter. He was a former Minnesota quarterback. He's also played around in indoor football for a few years.
It's not
They
the
have
same.
they have a returning all league player at offensive line who I cannot even attempt to pronounce that name. It is very African. They have a defensive lineman as well, and then a defensive back. So Brandon Munoz for D line, Trey Dudley Giles as defensive back. The Pueblo Punishers starting quarterback is going to be Joshua Hollins, who is not the one I was looking forward to, but he is a former St. Joseph Goat, Kansas City Goat, so I do at least recognize him. He was pretty good for the Goats in the Arena League.
Shout out.
Uh, the Salina Liberty have a returning. These guys were all league in the Arena AF1, obviously, because the team is moving over. Tracy Brooks, a fullback, running back, and then Kerry Starks, a linebacker. Uh, as you can note, Nate, Kilgo is not listed because he's no longer on their team, so you have a new quarterback. So you won't have to deal with him throwing like 4 interceptions a game.
God's plan. Truly a blessing, but still not the same.
Yes, and then Sioux City, I don't actually know who's going to be their starter because Verlin Reed is obviously the returning starter, but they also have Lorenzo Brown, who's just a guy who's been in indoor football forever, though he's been kind of ass the last couple of years because he's ancient. Fred Bruno, who's also been around forever. He's like a 10-year arena wide receiver. Sterling Clark, offensive lineman, returning all-league player. And then former NFL player Justin Gilbert is also on the Sioux City Bandits. Last year, the league was split into 2 divisions. The Beaumont Renegades and Columbus Lions both coming out of the American, the Omaha Beef, and Colorado Rose Spartans coming out of the National for the playoffs. Beaumont beat Columbus, Omaha beat Colorado, and then Beaumont won the championship, and obviously have moved on to different pastures.
We don't acknowledge last year. Just for pretty much any league for me, they're all Mickey Mouse rings. We weren't trying, so the league is so back to being ours. I'm
Yeah.
probably delusional.
So the top 2 leading passers from last year are not in the league again this year. So Verlin Lead is the leading returning passer. Uh, Alexis Rosario will be the leading returning rusher. He's the only one on that top 3 that's also returning, and he's also going to back to be mainly wide receiver, I believe, as opposed to running back. And then over here in receiving, only Woodley is returning out of the top 3. So there is that. So obviously, season just started on the exhibition game, so everybody is tied in the standings. Though the Pueblo Punishers beat the semi-pro team Northern Colorado Nightmare 51-6, and then the Louisiana Rougarou beat the Far Phantoms 64-24. The Phantoms are a name you should look out for because they're playing a couple other teams throughout the year, so we can sort of gauge between leagues as those games come in. Now for week 1 pick'em, since only me and Nate are picking, we are bringing back the Patrick, obviously, to Patrick. It's obviously not a true indication of your picking. This is just a joke that you would always pick the home team when you had no idea what was going on. So it is just the home team picked and every single thing. We also have the coin, which is just randomly selected between the 2 teams. And then this year, the NAL has come up with a deal with MyBookie to add in Vegas lines, so we will have that for the coming season.
Right.
So, week 1, Colorado Spartans are playing the Pueblo Punishers. I'm going to go Colorado.
Give me the team that has 1 head coach.
Yes. Okay.
So Colorado.
Yes, Colorado. Okay.
The non
I'm gonna
co
lock
head
in.
coach.
I'm gonna lock in all the coin picks. Okay. So Pueblo is the home team. So Patrick, the coin has selected Pueblo, and the Colorado Spartans are minus 280, so they should pretty much cruise.
Congrats to the coin being 0-1.
Yeah.
Shout out. That's a bad one to land on, guys.
Yes. Yeah, they've got the coin looks like it got some bad picks this week. Amarillo versus Louisiana. This is actually a toss up. They're both minus 225 in Vegas. I just gave it to the home team. I gave it to Patrick.
I might go just rock with the team that was in the league last year, so I'll probably stick with Louisiana.
Um, you go Louisiana. I'll go Amarillo. I'll go Amarillo.
You're going with the coin.
We will split right
You go with the
away.
coin. I go with the Patrick.
Yes.
All right, yeah,
The
this is a bad
exhibition,
point.
the St. Joseph Bucks versus the Omaha Beef. I would like to point out that the Omaha Beef lost their exhibition game last year at the
Oh,
last
I forgot
second.
about that. I forgot about that. I don't think that's happening
No,
again,
I
though.
think they probably picked a way worse team this
They're
year.
they're they're not losing to the average Joes here,
They're
so
they are. Yeah,
yeah, I'm going Yamaha.
Okay. Now the game we're all been waiting for: the Dallas Bulls versus Team Mexico.
I'm going with the team that's in favor of ice. So give me Dallas.
Yes, I will go. I will go the Dallas Bulls. The coin has selected Team Mexico. So,
Rough draw.
uh, the Patrick obviously picked Dallas as the home team, and then the last game, and yes, it is still to be decided. The fact this game is on Saturday. TBA versus Sioux City Bandits.
Yeah, I'm gonna rock with Sioux City
Yeah, I'm
here.
gonna go Sioux City. Shout out to Coin selecting to be announced.
Insane work.
So
Tempted to pick canceled in a sense here because I feel like
canceled would be a good choice.
this is a very good possibility that this doesn't happen. But who knows?
Yes. All right, we will hop over to the fun leagues, which I will go over returning. So the AIF, the American Indoor Football, is a returning league from last year, though it's been downgraded because they don't publish their stats. Womp womp. But they are a few weeks in. West Michigan is 3-0, followed by the Wyoming Cavalry at 1-0, Cedar Rapids at 1-1, the Pennsylvania Union at 0-1, and then Northern Michigan Muskies have already been excised from the league at 0-1, so they are now dead. Womp womp. Their games are being replaced by Pennsylvania, who is going to be a travel team this year, anyways. So they were prepared, and they also have two affiliate members that will be playing like way later in the year. Both teams in Texas, the Midland Frack Attack and the Odessa Drillers. So we'll see them as they come along. The America Arena League is also one of our fun leagues. This is where Columbus and Wheeling both moved to from the NAL. They also moved up the Jersey Bearcats and the Mississippi Wolfpack from the AL2. Mississippi being the reigning champion from that league. The AAL2 itself split into three divisions: East, North, and South. In the East, you have the Maryland War Eagles, New Jersey Eagles. Shout out to two teams having the same name in the same division. The Steel City Stampede, the Tri-State Panthers, the Virginia Legion. In the North, you have the Michigan Avengers, the Michigan Raptors, the Mid-Michigan Grizzlies, the Ohio Legends, and the Pittsburgh Outlaws. And then in the South, you had the Carolina Aviators, the Carolina Predators, the Peach State Cats, and the Tri-City River Gators. They have a lot of crossover games with the base AAL, so we will see. We'll know. Obviously, the AAL should be the better of the two, but we will see the crossover there. One of the new team leagues we are following are the International Arena League, which I'm not entirely confident is actually going to kick off because of how bonkers the setup is, as they have a Europe division and a North American division. Dusseldorf Warriors, England Eruptors, Glasgow Tartans, Stuttgart Stallions, Zurich Ibex in Europe, Arizona Juggernauts, Cincinnati Slingers, Las Vegas Rockers, Pennsylvania Benjamins, and the Utah Great Eights in North America. In the Gridiron Indoor Football League, a returning league from last year, which actually just finished its regular season, so we will pick the bracket for their tournament. The Main Street 29ers, which I believe is the reigning champion, went 5-0. The Palmetto Snipers went 4-1. The Savannah Aces went 3-2. The Alabama Empire went 2-3. The Carolina Cyborgs went 1-4, and the Alabama Silverbacks went 0-5. I believe they also went winless last
No,
year. They were not a good
come
team.
on, Silverbacks.
Yeah. And then the Greater Toronto Indoor Football League, which will be having its last regular season week this year, this week. The Hit Squad is undefeated at 7-0. The Longhorns are 6-1. The Supreme team have fallen back a little bit. They were a good team last year, are just sitting at 4-3. The Thunder 3-4. The Knights are 2-6, and the Axolotls went 0-8. So
3-4 with a plus minus of -80 something is incredibly based.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
you
they,
just
they
talk about a
barely won
massive
their games
drop
and got
off.
absolutely murdered by everybody else. I would like to shout out the Axolotls that actually scored points this year. You know, they actually scored touchdowns. So,
Let's go.
so improvements. This year's Axolotls may have also went undefeated, but they would have kicked the shit out of last year's Axolotls.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So, the only postseason, these postseasons are kind of guesses because I don't know how the offensive structure, especially the AL2, is a completely guess of what it might look like because there are only 3 divisions, kind of messes everything up. But the one I know for sure is the Gridiron Indoor Football League, where the number 1 Main Street 29ers are playing the number 4 Alabama Empire, and the number 2 Palmetto Snipers are playing the number 3 Savannah Aces. My picks on this are the 29ers, and then, I'm going to go upset 3-2.
I'll go 29ers. I do kind of want to look at the.
Yeah, if you scroll to the bottom, you should be able to see former game scores. The Snipers and the Aces played week
Oh,
1,
okay. Yeah,
and then
that'd
they
be.
haven't played each other since.
So, snipers and aces. I'll just do a 1v2.
1v2. That's a solid projection. And I'm gonna go Main Street winning at
I'm
this.
going Main Street
Yeah,
for
winning
sure.
the
Yeah.
championship. Yeah. Okay, and then the only so AAF has no games this week, so we just have to pick the final week of the Greater Toronto Indoor Football League. So we have Hit Squad versus Longhorns. I'm going Hit Squad.
Yeah, Hit Squad for sure.
Obviously, there's no Vegas odds on this, so we are just.
That says Nate twice for
Oh
those
yes,
two.
this should be Pat.
Should say Pat. Yeah.
So, and then Supreme Team versus Thunder is going to be a Supreme Team because Thunder are not good either.
Yeah, Supreme Team are 2.
They're 4-3, but the Thunder is the.
They're third in the division. Okay, I'll go. I'll go the same.
Yeah, they're the only other team. They're the worst team, but have a better PS
plus minus
than everybody. The last one was a good plus minus.
The respectable one, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I guess there's not really a Patrick method on this either, because considering they're both it's all at one stadium. So maybe I should get rid of him on that and just leave the coin. I think I'll get rid of the Patrick because it's not a real home.
That doesn't make sense for here.
Everybody's home, so he just won't pick on those ones. All right, and then obviously the Australian Football League, our beautiful never-ending
You're so
season.
back. Come on, man.
So they had 2 coaching changes over the offseason. The Port Adelaide Power did not retain their head coach, and then Melbourne did not promote their interim head coach. They just reverted him back to an assistant. They ended up, Port Adelaide ended up hiring Josh Carr. So he was an assistant with them, so they just promoted him up, so an internal hire. And then Melbourne hired Stephen King, not the author, the Australian.
I was about to say, I can't believe they hired an author. Come on.
He did a little too much coke, and now he's coaching football in Australia.
He's completing side quests now.
Yeah,
Crazy. They're gonna have freaking
he's in deep cover for his next book. For
they're
some
gonna
reason.
have that clown on the sideline
The
for him,
next,
whatever,
yeah,
Pennywise.
the next Dark Tower book is in Australia, so he's doing some research. But he was a Geelong assistant coach.
That's a crazy method acting for sure.
Yes.
Um,
So
Shout out to Stephen King.
yeah. So last year, Adelaide was the number one, followed by Geelong, Brisbane, Collingwood, GWS, Fremantle, Gold Coast, Hawthorn were your top eight. Rounding out the teams that did not make the playoffs were Western, Sydney, Carlton, St Kilda, Port Adelaide, Melbourne, Eston, North Melbourne, Richmond, and West Coast. The top three fantasy leaders in Australia last year were all for Brisbane, so it's
All Brisbane.
no wonder they ended up winning the championship. All three of those players are also returning to Brisbane. I believe they are the projected favorite right now
I
to
mean, that makes sense.
three-peat.
You defend
Yep.
you be projected number one
Yeah.
regardless. Um,
So yeah. Last year's playoffs, number one seed absolutely sucked balls and lost back to back to get kicked out, which is really sad to be honest. They
Saw
lost
the
to the
vision for Hawthorne though.
yeah. My Bagpies gave it a good shot, but yeah, Brisbane was just too good, and they went back to back.
Yeah, they're really freaking good.
Yeah.
But they don't have the highest paid player. That belongs to St. Kilda. Don't mean to brag.
Is that gonna work
Whether
out
that's
for them?
probably not.
Hey, it
Dropping
worked
2
out
mil
for the
on this guy.
Dodgers.
Yeah, but they probably deferred all. They say there's no way this guy can afford to be deferring money, right?
Yeah.
I'd imagine not. I don't know.
Well, if he made
Maybe
a
he
little
can.
bit of money beforehand, maybe he can defer. I don't know the deferral rules in Australia though.
In Australia, if there are,
Maybe they're more not retarded.
yeah, true.
All right, so week 0, Carlton versus Sydney. The Coin and Patrick and Vegas all pick Sydney minus 330. I think I will go with my Swans.
Yeah, the Swans were really weird last year, especially as the start of the year.
They completely forgot how to play
Um,
football since that last half of 2 years ago.
Part of me is tempted to go Carlton, but Carlton did kind of fall off there. I'll go the Swans for now. Um,
Yes.
I wouldn't be entirely shocked if Carlton ended up winning this, just because the Swans kind of swan.
Yes. Australian football is where you make your money on betting.
100%.
Geelong Cats versus Gold Coast Suns. Patrick Coyne and Vegas all have Suns. This is the one I would go Cats.
Yeah, I would agree.
This would be my money.
I go Cats as well.
Yeah. Minus 165 on the Suns.
Wow, minus 225 Hawks. Giants were decent last year. Do they? I wonder if they.
So
I know the Hawks made it pretty
they
far
both
last year.
made the playoffs. Yeah, and Hawthorn made it to the semifinals before they got. Actually, they played a pretty close game against Geelong.
Yeah, it wasn't entirely
Yeah,
terrible.
Hawthorn beat GWS in the postseason too.
Well, I got to show some love to Hawthorne for sure. But I'm still a little. Yeah, I'll go Hawthorne. I'm a little nervous about that. There's something. This league gets weird, but maybe having
Yeah.
the lines will stabilize thing a little bit.
I'll go GWS because they're the home team.
That was my other thing. And like Hawthorne's on the road and minus 225. Is that something feels off with that?
Yeah, maybe.
But,
I don't know enough to know roster movement to how much that affects everything. So maybe
Yeah,
GWS got pillaged or something.
Um,
Brisbane versus Western. I'm going Brisbane.
Brisbane,
Yeah,
for sure. Seems like the Coin is not making as bad of picks. I imagine they're trying to go with
Yeah.
the majority for the most part
And
here.
then Collingwood, St. Kilda. This was also a toss up, so I just gave it to St. Kilda on the Vegas line. I got to go with my Magpies, so I have to have loyalty.
I really want to glaze St. Kilda.
Hey, they are home. They are
Screw it.
the same in
I'm gonna get
line.
debated here. I'll go St. Kilda. I know it's wrong, but why not? You said go loyalty. I'll be loyal to St.
Yeah,
Kilda
be
at
loyal.
least for round zero
You
until it
know,
comes back to bite me bad.
you know,
So
you can pick them as many times as they have championships. So you're done. You're done for the
they
year.
did
You
they
don't have to
did
pick them
go
anymore.
9-14 last year. So I mean they're not
You
completely
could be a West
abysmal.
Coast Eagles fan.
That was yeah 1-22. That's a long season.
Yeah.
So, once a week and you win one game. I would
Yeah.
legitimately stop watching sports at that point. That's
This was
just
my White Sox experience.
yeah, that's honestly fair. 2023 or 24, whatever year it was,
Yeah.
that's valid. That's valid.
Just an absolute miserable season. All right. I got nothing else. Obviously, IFL we will start next week, and the week after that the UFL starts, and
Sweet.
then 2 weeks after that I think the LFA starts. The real league that we care about, Mexican football. You want to
Gonna be a
shout out your other podcasts, Nate?
shout out to my other podcast, One Bucking Ball Boys. Go check them out. Just talk about pretty much all sports, and then the other one, Two Idiots Doing a Sports Podcast. Pretty much the same thing, but less dumb than the other one.
Less dumb,
So,
but not as dumb
uh,
as this one, where we talk about people getting paid like $200 a game.
heck yeah. Well, this isn't dumb. This is just tism.
Yes, this is
This
for
is
the love of
tism.
the game.
Yeah, yeah. This is the spectrum kicking in for sure.
All right. Well, will you see everybody next week?
See y'all.
All two of you.